But there's a bunch of real estate dudes that are not into mindset at all. That they're like, dude, with that, let's go buy this house. And that's what, you know what I need to know? I need to know how much that house is. You want to talk about feeling motivated this morning? I got 5 kids. I got all the motivation I need. I'm going to go get that house.
This here is for you guys, the movers and the shakers, the motivated and creators, the big thinkers, the big dreamers, the outliers, the one pushing the needle forward, the students of the game and the ones making their lanes, the ones that get things done and know everything is one. Welcome to your pod, the Everything is Everything podcast. Let's go.
Can't ignore it, this my story, I've been more than ready. And this stuff I'm cooking up is like culinary. True intentions, must I mention, it's just legendary.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Everything is Everything podcast. My name is Vladimir Ledesma.
My name is Fabio Suarez.
And we are here with another episode. This one, we are switching things up a bit, right, Fabio?
Right.
Switching up the scenery, trying something new out, facing each other so I can see my man.
There you go.
And we don't have a book today. We're kind of just going to freestyle a little bit and talk about things we got going on and kind of just see where the pod kind of goes. So hope you guys enjoy the freestyle conversation me and Fabio are about to do. And, like, subscribe, and share for more content.
Yeah, so let's do it. So,
what's up, my man?
Hey, man. So, like I was telling you off camera, I just had a call with a multi-millionaire. And every Sunday we have this call, right? And we were doing this call, and I felt like it was so important to bring up on the podcast just because there was this woman, she was like being so transparent about like her journey and what she was trying to do.
Right.
And she was just talking about her fear. And I think a lot of us deal with that.
Right.
A whole bunch of us, we let fear stop us right in our tracks. And we think that, because it's too big for us, we might never do anything, right? And she was just talking about how she wanted to get into investments, but it was too much for her.
Okay.
And it was, he was just saying like, he was like, look, I don't have a lot of words. And the one thing that I could tell you is get over it. Your fear it's going to keep you exactly where you are. And if you know who I'm talking about, he didn't mean nothing rude by that. He just wanted to push her and get her out. But the interesting thing is that she was actually crying, almost about to cry, while she was saying all this. And
so wait, time out. Has she invested yet?
No, but she has a property.
Okay.
Right. And
her primary.
Yeah. But I think she was wanting to venture out and do some new things. Okay. And I feel like a lot of people are in that same situation. Like they want to take that next step, whatever that is, or even take the first step.
Right.
But they're just stuck because they feel like.
Well, why was she crying? Or what? So she was saying, I want to invest.
Yeah, but I'm scared to. Yeah. So
don't invest.
But she wants to go out there. She wants to do big things. Okay. She's been following, this particular person, and she wants to do the same. But there's parts of it that I do want to be taken from it.
For sure.
But so I thought I got a little upset because I'm like, yo, not just for one-on-one, which was great. I learned a lot. But I did like that idea, like, I can ask questions on Sundays, and I can if I ever came through a property, I can always bring it up.
Yeah.
So I was happy about that. And then we got a text with the group. It said, we're changing everything to to school. Yeah. And you're going to be grandfathered in, though. Don't worry about it. $500 per year, or something like that. Or like this year, it's going to be, $500. But everybody else is going to be $1,500. But for you guys, it's going to be $500. I was frustrated. And
well, maybe it's going to be more than just Sundays, though.
No, it is. But that's why he made it a point to talk about this on the call. He was like, look, guy. And then he saw that a lot of people texted. And
we're like, yo, whoa.
Yeah, what happened?
It's false advertisement.
But then he said, then he was like, what did he say? Oh, he was like, look, let's talk about it on Sunday. Don't worry, guys, about that right now. We'll talk about it more that day. Okay. And then he mentioned, he was like, okay, so this is what I'm planning to do. I want to use your money so we can keep, what we're doing, like retreats and things that I do down, like because he does like a couple retreats during the year.
And those are free for you guys also.
They're not free, but they're low. Like it's $1,000. Most people do charge like almost $3,000. Like it's a lot of money every single time for these retreats.
Okay.
He says that because he's doing it through the inner circle, the school is gonna stay down like $1,000 no matter what to keep on doing these things because he pays up front for the Airbnb.
Location, yeah, the Airbnb.
So he pays up front, and everybody pays at the end. He makes some from that.
He has to make money. I mean, yeah, he's not in business and doing this because he's an angel.
Right.
He's got to make money. Right.
So that's his mindset with that. He's like, look, it's gonna keep this down for me. I'm gonna try to get other programs and other speakers and other things to go into the school.
Got it.
And
yeah, he's gonna be able to do a lot more with the school.
Yeah. So, and there was something else, but at the end, that's what he explained. But in the beginning, I was one of the ones that were a little frustrated.
So he's not gonna do that Sunday call no more.
Oh yeah,
that's gonna be in school.
And it's gonna be Sunday, no matter what, for the people who already paid for that. They're always gonna have access to that from now on. Like no matter.
Oh, so
yeah. But if you go look at the text, it didn't say that in the text. Yeah, she's on the calls. She wants to grow. She wants to move forward. So she she was being transparent. She wanted some direction. And that advice, I think, was great. I think...
Get over it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could say what you feel about that, but I think that's exactly what people need to hear. And sometimes that bluntly to move on to the next level.
And even more importantly, what's the fear? Like, I mean...
Yeah.
Not what's the fear. Like, obviously, it comes with risk, right? And big risks. But it brings me back to something that I just in general think is my opinion based. Don't kill me for it.
Yeah.
If you're that scared, you don't really want to do it. Maybe it's just not what you really want to do. I just had a conversation yesterday with a lead that came in for buying a home. And she's like, hey, I'm buying, but I'm not in a rush. I'm not in a hurry. Like, good, I'm not hurrying anybody. I'm here to help you buy your home if that's what you want to do. You're calling me.
Yeah.
It's what you want to do.
Yeah.
But I'm not here to rush you. I mean, you're calling me today. I'm assuming you want to do this in the near future. Because if not, then what are you calling me for?
Right.
If it's something that's not a rush and you want to do in 5 years, then wait 5 years. Call me in 5 years.
Yeah, and I think that's good. That's a good point. And another guy said, while that whole thing was going on, he was like, look, the truth is, you guys don't really want it. Because if you did, you would do this. Yeah. You're listening to somebody like you're listening and you want to grow.
Probably paying him to be there, right?
Yeah. Well, some people, because he just opened it up for free.
Okay.
So people are having that access. I don't know if she paid or not. I don't know. But even then.
Probably not.
But she's still spending the time.
Yeah.
And the thing that we have in life that's
our most valuable.
That's never going to come back is time. So she is paying whether she looks at it, even though she is. And so why be so invested if you're not going to do anything with it?
Right.
And he said something. He was like, somebody else said, the truth is you don't really want it. And sometimes you're going to have to go through something to realize you gotta do it. You got to do something about it.
So it's open for everybody to speak.
Yeah, like anybody can open and it's on, give their opinion or say what their piece on things. Because this guy works closely already with. He's been in the call a lot with him for a while now.
Got it. So
but he's had his own journey. He said, I was also following. Mm-hmm. I was also listening to his stuff, but it had to come to a point that enough is enough, he said. Like, now he's doing well in his real estate business, but...
Like, I have to do something myself, right? That's what you're saying?
Yeah, he had to get out of his own head because he also was following him, learning from him, but he was never doing anything.
Yeah, paralysis by analysis.
Yes. He never actually took the step and did something. So...
Right.
I like that point. And the next thing that she said, and I'm going to record this for the rest of my life. Like, I'm going to keep this with me. He said, he asked her, he's like, how long have you been paying your current house for? And she said, well, 17 years. And then he said, okay, well, do you see yourself not paying it? And then he said, if you have been paying it up until now, what makes you think that the next thing you do, you're not going to be able to take care of it? And then he said, you don't look like the type of person that would falter on their loan. You don't look like the type of person that would just stop. You look like the type of person that would do anything to take care of your responsibilities.
Or we'll figure it out.
That will figure it out. And see, like, that's a mental shift. If you start looking at everything like that,
right,
you're going to be in a better situation. You're going to be like, you know what, you're right. Like, I don't have to limit myself. I have been doing this.
The track record follows you.
Yeah, and I could do it. I'm going to do it with the next thing that I do and the next thing that I do.
Yep.
So if you can just get out of your mind a little bit and think like that, it's like, it's true. I have been doing this. I can continue to, whatever I'm planning to do it with my life.
Yeah, I agree. I think that for most hurdles and almost all hurdles that we'll see in life, we're probably getting in our way more than anything else.
Yeah.
We're probably self-sabotaging more than anything else. Right? And our mentality, right? The whole upbringing mentality, a lot of things have to do with it.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it's whatever you decided in your mind already.
Right.
I'll tell you, I know I have my mental blocks, and I'll be like, I know I'm being stubborn, and this is a mental block. And I've been able to do it. And the reason that I know that 100% is because I've been able to change so many mental shifts that have helped me be like, oh, wow. The moment that I was able to shift that in my mind, the moment it worked, or whatever the case may be. A good point you said. And I always say this, and some people don't like it or don't agree or maybe whatever, but I always say, like, pressure is good. I remember when I was younger, I realized in my mid-20s, definitely wasn't where I wanted to be or nothing like that, but I realized, like, anytime that I have a hurdle in front of me that I have no other choice but to handle, I handle it.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, so I live this very restricted life because I feel like, oh, that's too much for me. Oh, that's too much for me. But every time that my back's against the wall and I jump over and I figure it out. I go, so how about if I just said, I'm going to get that new car and I'll figure out how I'm going to pay it later. I already know I'm going to pay it because I know I'm responsible. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, my track record already showed I was responsible with payments. So it was like, why do I still live with my mom? Why don't I go get that apartment? Why don't I go get that car? Because I have a job, right?
Yeah.
I'm afraid of that $400 bill a month. But then I would do it.
Yep.
And now I got the car. And then I could be paying it perfectly fine and be like, whoa, why was I so scared of this responsibility?
That's why, like, that the mindset is so important. Like, working on that daily really gets you out of that.
Shift. And that shift. And I'm giving those minor examples, but those small wins are what add to the big wins. Because the confidence that you get in your small wins and your daily wins is what then opens your mind to more bigger and bigger things.
You know, and I started this whole new thing where biblical business lessons, right? And I'm doing that.
I love that, by the way.
I'm going to do my best. Thank you. I'm going to do my best to do that every single day.
Fire.
So like that, you know, people can get a different perspective. God has a lot to say about everything. But he has also a lot to say about money and business. And I think that that's not spoken about enough. So one of the things that I got from that message on Sunday, I thought to myself, like, there's a scripture that says that God, he keeps everything going, right? God keeps the earth is in his hand. The water, I believe it says the palm of all the oceans is in the palm of his hand.
Okay.
And the same way that that's in his hand, everything else is. Like, the sun is not so close to the earth that it burns up, right? And then the same thing is not too close, not too far. It's exactly where it needs to be.
Right. Everything is made in perfection.
Right. And if you think about it that way, it keeps on going and God keeps it going.
Right.
And it was like that before and it's going to be like that until he comes back. So I have to believe that in my life, he keeps everything going. No matter where I am, whatever business I start, or whatever relationship I get into in life, he's going to keep it going. So through the bad or the good, he's going to keep it going, functioning for me because I trust him.
Right.
And so hopefully that helps somebody because in life, you're always going to go through problems and down.
Things are always going to come up. You got to have faith. You got to be ready. No, you can get through this challenge. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Right. And he keeps it going no matter what.
Right.
So think about that. The earth is not close. It's not too close to the sun and it's not too far from the sun. It's exactly where it needs to be and it keeps going. There's a lot going on, but it keeps going because God has it in the palm of his hand. So yeah, in life, always think that way when next time you're faced with that challenge or that problem.
Right. What did the lady say After she got all that advice.
So she said, thank you. I think she didn't really say much, but I can tell she was like thankful with his advice. She didn't become she didn't seem bitter. She seemed grateful at the end. Because after everybody was done, he was like, I know that the call just got tense, but I just want to throw that out there, guys. If you guys are listening to me, and they started speaking to everybody. He was like, if you guys are all listening to me, then you should be moving in your life. Like, if you started listening to me since January and nothing's happened, then stop. Like, don't stay on this call anymore, because you're wasting your time.
Yeah,
I want you guys.
You're not taking the actions, like, especially if if he's giving like implementation, like, hey guys, you need to make 100. You want to get your next deal, you got to make 100 calls a week.
Right.
If you know in your heart of hearts you're not making those 10, 100 calls a week, and it's been 6 months, brother, go back to work and chill out. Yeah. You're good. Like, you don't want to do it.
Which is exactly what he said. He said, hey, go on Netflix, go hang out. Like,
go do your thing.
Spend time with your family.
Nothing's wrong with none of that. Right.
But you're the one that's on the call. He's like, if you're here, it's because you want to change. You 100%. Transform.
Yeah.
So, again, if you know him, you know that he didn't mean anything wrong.
I like his style.
But he was being honest.
Yeah, I like his style.
And one of the things that I love about him is that he's a man of God. He really believes that he's going to be accountable for everything he's done.
Nice.
And he said that if I don't tell you guys the truth, then one day I'm going to stand before God. I'm going to be held accountable for that. And me doing what I'm doing today, teaching and all this, I'm going to be held accountable for that. So if you're not doing nothing with it and somebody else is, I'm going to be held accountable for that.
I like that. I'm going to use that to really bring you into the tea now that you were mentioning it off the camera now too. Perfect time to bring the tea in. Get ready, coming now. No, I'm just kidding. I'm only kidding. But you were saying about just because of his truth. He said that if you did a course with him, then you were on it.
Okay, so that's a whole nother thing.
You see what I did there, right? I'm on my Oprah right now.
So for me, like in the beginning, I must say I was a little upset, and it's funny because I remember I texted him. I said, I thought we were all going to have lifetime access, because that's what
originally when you signed up.
That's what I read
for you. What you paid and everything, it was lifetime access.
It was one-on-one with him, and then lifetime access to his program, to what he offers.
But not to him, right? Because you can't expect lifetime access for.
Yeah, but I did expect on Sunday nights, because he does a Sunday night call, and I did expect every Sunday, no matter what, we were gonna have a
no matter what,
because that's what it said. It said lifetime access. I was like, all right, this is.
Well, he probably put it out there to see how it was taken. Yeah, and then he saw how it was taken and was like, "Ooh, let me backtrack and get this organized, because I'm not trying to piss off
the people that are already
my loyalty
supporting
my loyal members
are really there, right?
Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
Yeah, and it really is good. Like, his information is great. That's why.
And all jokes aside, we're joking with a lot of this or just expressing a lot of this, but that's business in general.
Yeah,
that's also he's a mentor and whatever. He's learning how to be that.
Yeah.
So he's going to make mistakes. It's like anybody with a business, right?
Yeah,
like,
and he's very young if you think about it. He's like in his 30s. He's early 30s.
So you're going to learn and do things. I don't know if it looks early 30s, but
yeah, no,
you're going.
32.
Yeah. Oh man, life's hard on him. But I'm only kidding. But
or 34 maybe. But
you're going to learn things in the process.
Yeah.
Like, and you're going to get some things wrong, and people are going to get pissed. Mm-hmm. That's going to happen. As long as your intentions are good and you can manage to see when you're making an error and correct them.
Yeah.
Then that's fine. Like, people need to have more grace. I feel like sometimes people are like, "Oh, but you said this," and then hey, dude, I'm human. All right, I did say that.
You know what it is?
I may have I said that in 2023.
Yeah.
Now school appears in 2024.
Yeah.
This is a lucrative thing, which goes attached to what I'm doing already. I need to implement this because I need to keep my business moving forward.
Right.
How do I implement it without offending who's already been here, but also without stopping my opportunity?
Yeah, two things
to
with
keep
that.
growing.
I feel like because the person who's looking at the person that's like leading it is not seeing all that goes into it.
Exactly. Never.
That's a good point to make. The second thing though I also wanted to mention this. Me and my wife were talking about it. We don't say that you're not like this person. That's his brand, kind of. If you could.
I don't upsell. I don't upsell. I don't upsell.
So that is an upsell though, because it's okay that school and everything, but that's still an upsell.
That's business.
But it's
whoever says that they don't upsell, because So here's my issue with all the reason why. Because you give me the bad rap of not liking gurus and mentors.
Yeah.
I like coaches.
Yeah.
I do firmly believe in coaches. I don't like gurus and mentors so much.
Yeah.
Because don't tell me about how extreme. Like, there's two things. It's not that I don't like them.
Yeah.
I don't like that aspect. Don't say that you don't do that, like you're saying.
Yeah, a lot.
Because if you're a coach, bro. You're gonna have to upsell.
Yeah.
You have to upsell. It's a part of this business model. Like, there's no because the truth is, unless you're truly so successful in what you're coaching, because I bet you that's exactly what goes along with that next statement. Because I don't know this guy enough to say, but I bet you $1 million I really do make all this money off of real estate, so I don't need to make all this extra money off of the coaching. Right. We know you don't, but you're in business, which means you're a capitalist, which means you're probably a greedy man, just like all of us.
And that's why not all of this is going to come out. But
but be real.
But these are good points, though. These are good points because this is my... this is why I'm against it sometimes.
Junior, I'm sorry, but I might be putting all this out. I'll bleep out his name. We'll bleep out his name.
Edit some stuff.
We'll bleep out his name, but I want to put it all out.
So
I want to put it all out. And I want him to watch it. I'm bleeping your name out, though. Don't worry.
So the reason why I bring this up is just because, like...
Because this is the pod. This was going to get it cooking. You see? Look at this. Let's go, dog.
All right, yeah. So I just believe that don't you shouldn't like say it so much is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's all. Because then it's like, then the person who is listening to you is like, no, he's really like, man, this guy, he's all for the people. And he is for the people. Don't get me wrong. He is. He's different from a lot of these speakers and all this stuff. I must say, he's definitely very different. Very different guy than a lot of these people that I've heard. And
than the sleazy ones. And he's trying to do it with etiquette.
Yeah.
Or he's doing it with etiquette. But it's still business.
Yeah.
And that's what I always try to tell people. And it's still business, and not only that, it's still sales. So if you're offended because you're being sold, then don't even come around because I'm selling a package.
Yeah. And the funny thing
you get what I'm saying?
The funny thing is, like, when I said that to him and texted him, I thought, because he, out of nowhere, I saw that he...
And you say things kind of brass. You be thinking that you're polite, but you be saying things kind of brass. I can't imagine how you said it.
I just texted him, and I just said, hey, what's going on with this?
All right.
I think I was polite.
All right.
But after I said that...
Hey, man, you promised me.
I noticed he unfollowed me. And at first I was like, that's weird, because I thought we were building, like, decent...
When, this week?
I don't know if it was last week or something. I don't know.
Okay.
I think it was this week. Maybe it could have been this week. But
he just liked your stuff, though.
Exactly. No, it was last week. It was.
All right, so he's back now.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
he followed you back.
But because I didn't sit. It didn't sit still. Like,
he is 32. Go ahead.
It didn't sit well with me. But then he was like, it was out of my control. Something happened. I don't know what happened.
Oh, it was a glitch. He got hacked.
Could it be? I don't know.
I believe him because he just liked your thing. I believe him because he really liked your post.
I really had to just put that to the side, and I was like, let me at least say something because I feel a certain way.
Yeah.
Because I'm building a rapport, and it's not just anybody that I don't know.
Yeah.
It would be understandable if he just came on my page and left. That's fine. I get those things.
Yeah, you guys have actually been dialogue.
I went to his program.
You stayed at his house. You've been editing his videos.
Yeah, here and there I did a couple things, but I thought we were building rapport. So I was like, out of nowhere, I was like.
But then you heard that was a misunderstanding. It was a misunderstanding.
Yeah, because I texted him and I said, hey man, like, hey, I said, what did I say? I was like, hey, did I say something wrong? Because I texted him the night before, 2 nights before. That's why I was like...
Oh, and it was like things like that have happened to me, though. Where I feel like... Could it be a coincidence?
Yeah, then I was like, I must have said something terrible then. So I was like, damn, I should have never said that. But then I was like, I had to. But anyways,
you gotta speak your truth.
The point is, he was like, nah, don't worry, it was a glitch. And I was like, all right, cool, man. That's awesome. And I say all that to say, he's a great guy. I know he's doing his thing. He really wants to help people.
The value is worth it.
Yeah, it's definitely worth it.
You would pay the extra 500.
I would pay.
You're just saying that he maybe shouldn't say what he's saying all the time because...
Yeah, that's it. Because then it comes across...
Fair.
Yeah, it comes across a certain way. And it teaches me too. I hope it teaches anybody. Like, yeah. You know, you don't necessarily have to be saying those things so much. Just do your thing. And people are going to tell. They're going to know who you are.
They're
going to follow along.
They're going to know who you are.
And they are because there's people there that they were like, oh, I'll go with you to the mountains. You could tell he has real supporters.
He has an allegiance. Yeah. He has real supporters, real loyalty.
So yeah, but still.
Which means he's adding real value.
He really is.
I mean, I already met a millionaire that pretty much he made, so I know he's adding real value.
Yeah, definitely.
So for sure.
He's making an impact.
Absolutely. So kudos to him. All jokes aside from what we're saying.
Yeah.
Much respect. Again, it's more to get to the point of people don't know what it takes to do certain things. And people think like when they hear a mentor, I think a lot of people go through this misconception. Even just us as humans, we see somebody when they're not reachable and they look like, what? But the moment that we're able to get close, and now they're human to us because we're all human. Yeah. The moment that we're human and we start seeing their flaws because we're all human, now we're like, oh,
this guy.
He's not what I thought. Oh, yeah. He is. He's exactly what you thought he was.
It's just that he's not
perfect. He's just human, bro. He's not perfect.
Exactly.
He's going to make mistakes. As much as he can mentor you about real estate, it doesn't mean that in business as an entirety.
As a leader,
that he has everything 100% locked down because nobody does.
Exactly.
That's the reality.
Good points. And I think, as I've been, following these guys and learning from these guys, even when I was younger, as a member in a church, looking up to pastors, great men. I've met a lot of great pastors, a lot of great leaders.
Yeah.
But, spending a lot of time with any one of them, whether it's a pastor or the millionaires, they also are human, like you're saying. Like
you get to see
you start to grow and you're like, oh, it's true. He doesn't have it all figured out. And this is another thing that I really like. They have to introduce themselves the same way that you have to introduce yourself. They're not known to the whole world. And they're not God, like what we talk about. They're 100%. Not. They have to introduce themselves just like you have to introduce yourself.
100%.
Like I mentioned Jamal King to, who was it? To Muggs and to Gus. And they were like,
who's that?
Yeah, they were like, who's that? Did I tell you that?
No, but I know because he's not that big.
No, but
but shout out to him though.
No, but I mentioned, but that's a good lesson. I think that's
because you thought that it was like, what? You don't know who that is?
Yeah, I was like,
yeah, bro.
Like, hold on, you don't know who Jamal? This guy is huge because he's next to Eric Thomas, right?
Yeah, but people don't know who Eric Thomas is. Yeah, no, you gotta understand.
At least that world, they did though.
You gotta understand though. There's niches of life, right? Yeah. We're big into the mentorship space, and we're big into the education space, right?
And to real estate because if you go look at
Eric Thomas is not that big in real estate.
No, but a lot of people know his for mindset.
They know him from mindset,
yeah. Like they know everything there is to know. Like,
but there's a bunch of real estate dudes, older dudes, that are not into mindset at all. That they're like, dude, with that, let's go buy this house, and that's what. You know what I need to know? I need to know how much that house is. You want to talk about feeling motivated this morning? I got 5 kids. I got all the motivation I need. Yeah, I'm gonna go get that house. So but I'm just saying, like, there's people like that.
They just don't know.
And people like that.
When I saw that, it's not like I didn't know, but then you catch things a little differently. Like, it's true, man. I have to introduce myself. He has to. We all have to introduce ourselves.
We're human, and we're all gonna die.
We're all gonna die.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's interesting.
Not to get too dark,
but it's good to know that. It's good to
good to remember that.
Yeah, because then you're not like looking at people like they're untouchable and they're perfect, because they're gonna disappoint you.
Yeah.
Everybody now, because I said that doesn't mean that now I'm looking at everybody that they're gonna disappoint me. Right. But you should know, like, don't put all your trust into a person and think that person is gonna save you.
So, all right. So this is exactly everything you just said in the last. Everything you just said in the last 4 sentences or 5 is exactly what me and you. Is exactly what me and you like kind of debated about when it comes to mentors. That I try to say. That I try to say. They bleed just like you.
Yeah, but the thing is, but the thing is, you never thought that. But I didn't know that. I knew that in theory. I knew that in theory.
And I know that you knew it in theory. I know that you knew it in theory. I'm not trying to debate you right now. I'm not trying to debate you right now. I know that you knew it in theory. I know that you knew it in theory. But when we would talk, and I would tell you like, you know, I would tell you like, you know, I think I respect what they're saying.
I respect what they're saying. I think we're giving them a little more clout.
They're not reachable.
Because they're not reachable.
But the moment that they get a little more reachable, you get reminded.
Yeah,
oh, they're just human.
Yeah, because they're just human.
It's like what TV was. It's like what TV was in the 80s.
Even what Instagram is.
Even what Instagram is now. Instagram, I feel like it's good
because it lets you know like that everything's a facade.
Because when you really know that,
guy who's on their model,
this is the janitor.
Then you're able to be like, oh, everybody can put this facade up and be.
But at the same time, it's a gift and a curse. Because now it also gives us access
that you can give to people, right?
You can give to people, right?
And it's nice.
Just regular old
real estate agent Vlad, right? To be able to just tell you,
hey, here's some good tips.
Hey, here's some good tips.
Does that mean that you should do everything?
Does that mean that you should do everything that I'm doing in my life?
Absolutely
not. That's not what that means.
That's not what that means.
Doesn't mean that I don't make even me giving you economic advice. Does that mean that I'm not going to make an economic mistake? I'm human. I make blunders all the time. I take more risks. I take more risks.
So guess what comes along with
risks?
Mistakes.
Mistakes.
That's what's gonna come along with
That's how it is.
So I say that to say, one, just to not act like I'm talking from a higher place or of any sort.
You're on the top.
Yeah, like
you don't need to learn.
Like I don't even believe at the top of like in the sense of people. Yeah. Like if someone did really well, God bless them. I appreciate and I value that. But does that mean that I think that they know everything? No, because I know people that have made the same moves that I've made, almost identical.
Yeah.
And they had astronomical success on a stock. Stocks are a great way to actually see this. I know people that I've been in the same stock with, same time frame, and they've made astronomical money, and I maybe even lost money on that same play. How does that happen? Why? Because I got out 2 hours earlier and they stayed in 2 hours longer.
Yeah.
It's just to tell you, did what I know and what they know any different? No. I got anxious a little bit quicker, or I got out of the play a little bit sooner for whatever the reason was.
Yeah.
And there's two different outcomes.
Yeah.
So like, it's just to say like, even if a person has success in something, respect it, right? And especially more than me, I look for consistency more than I look for success, if that makes sense. Or I look for consistent success, right? Because that means, now you have something.
Yeah.
You found a niche that you have been able to find that's repetitive.
Yeah.
If you tell me, I won
the lottery.
Yeah, no, even like, because the lottery, obviously.
Yeah.
But like, I bought a house and I sold the house and I made $300,000.
Yeah.
You can go out and say you're all about real estate now.
Yeah.
You just missed to say, I bought a house in 2013 and I sold it in 2021. You made $300,000 because you bought it at the right time. God bless you.
But it's not consistent.
And you sold it at the right time. God bless you. But you know nothing about real estate.
Yeah.
Right? But if you can tell me, no, I bought a house every single year and I can make $25,000, $50,000 off that house because I have a system of what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Then guess what? I'm going to listen to you when it comes to flipping houses. Now, but if you tell me about, you should have spanked that kid for that, like, all right, cool. Well, now I know you know about houses.
Yeah.
I ain't listening to you about how to raise my kid.
Yeah.
You're human.
Yeah.
I'm going to respect you for what you're good at.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm going to be understanding that you're human and I can't expect you to be perfect at everything.
Yeah. Yeah, business of the Bible. Or biblical lessons from the Bible. So he said the story of the crooked manager. Jesus said to his disciples, there was once a rich man who had a manager. He got reports that the manager had been taking advantage of his position by running up huge personal expenses. So he called him up and said, what is this that I hear about you? You're fired, and I want a complete audit of your books. The manager said to himself, what am I going to do? I've lost my job as manager. I'm not strong enough for laboring a job, and I'm too proud to beg. I've got a plan. Here's what I'll do. Then when I'm turned out into the street, people will take me into their houses. Then he went at it one after another. He called in the people who were in debt to his master. So that's where I got it.
Okay, he called the people that were in debt to his master.
Exactly.
Got it.
He said to the first, how much do you owe my master? He replied, 100 jugs of olive oil.
His master fired him, right? His master's the one who fired him?
Yeah.
Okay.
The manager said, here's here, take your bill, sit down here, quick now, write 50. To the next, he said,
how much did he owe in olive oil?
50. So I guess it was 50 pounds or 50.
Well, that's what he owed? Is that what he owed, or is that what he told him to pay?
Yeah, that's what he told him to pay.
So he owed more than that.
According to the Bible, that's what he made him just write down.
Oh, all right, 50. Okay, got it.
So the manager said, here, take your bill, sit down, here, quick now, write 50. In other words, I get it to get out of it.
Yeah.
To the next, he said, and you, what do you owe? He answered, 100 sacks of wheat. He said, take your bill, write in 80.
Oh, he was giving him a discount.
Dike, right? Supposedly. Now here's a surprise. The master praised the crooked manager. And why? Because he knew how to look after himself. Streetwise people are smarter in this regard than law-abiding citizens. They are on constant alert, looking for angles, surviving by their wits. I want you to be smart in the same way, but for what is right, using every adversity to stimulate you to creative survival, to concentrate your attention on the bare essentials, so you'll live and not complacently just to get by on good behavior.
Good question though. That little last section that you read, that's not from the Bible.
That's
The actual Bible?
That's the Bible.
That says that part about the streetwise people?
Right, yeah. Because this is the message version, but if you go look at the original.
So that's what I'm asking. That's message version. That's the Bible, or that's like an extra written?
Yes, it's somebody that translated it. But if you want to look at the even deeper, we can do that. But
yeah. I'm just trying to understand if that was word for word was in the Bible. So this is a translation.
Contemporary.
For
us, people that are in this time
to understand it. Okay.
But isn't that crazy though? When you read that, just tell me your thoughts. I'm just curious to know your thoughts as I'm reading that.
So what they were saying is like you should take care of yourself, or you should there's basically, he said, use his streetwiseness for God though.
Exactly. Don't depend on good behavior to glorify God. If you think that you're gonna get by and bring attention to God on just
being a law-abiding citizen.
Yeah, it doesn't mean you're gonna go sin. It doesn't mean you're gonna be unethical.
Yeah, I was about to say like
that's not what he's saying. He's saying, look, use all this stuff that people do for evil, do it for the good, right? The way I took that in is like social media. There's people out here in social media being deceitful, doing bad, like they're just doing some crazy things.
Right.
So use it for good.
Right.
Go use social media for the good, for the kingdom of God.
Yo, should we start an OnlyFans but preach on there?
What do you
that
mean?
might be.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
You know what an OnlyFans is?
Nah.
OnlyFans is like they're doing like porn, or like people are like getting naked on there, but it's a social media. And people pay for the content of being on there. Should we create one and start giving these lectures on there?
I have no idea, man.
That would be crazy. We'd probably break it because like it'd be so contrast of what they're doing. But you'd be using
that's
that evil platform, or that platform that's not used for anything of good.
Yeah.
To actually give a good message. You might be onto something.
But that's why I like this so much. And you said something like you learn from them, but you're not gonna take their life. You're not gonna go do what they do, everything they do.
100%.
And that's a biblical concept. Like Jesus, I never would ever think that he would commend something like that, right? Because that sounds.
Oh, I've learned so much from the streetwise.
All the things that he said was like, yo, like why would you even, like this is a big contradiction right here. That scripture, why would you look at somebody who does evil? But there it is. There's the answer. Take that for the good. Take all you've learned for that good, because eventually it's gonna all come back.
And not only that, just to protect yourself, because you also don't gotta be gullible. So like you can learn from somebody to not fall for their traps.
And that too, yeah. Right.
I like this book, which some people say is like a little evil because it's a little manipulative. It's manipulative is what it is. Not a little manipulative. It's definitely psychology and manipulative. It's the 48 Laws of Power. You've heard of that book?
I have.
That book. Have you read that book?
I have not, no.
That book is super crazy. But those laws are real things. And like I read that book and I was like, there's so many of these that I don't agree with. Like I wouldn't do this. But they're good to know. To know when they're being done on me.
Also, yeah, definitely. Like,
you know?
Know how people are thinking. Now, it doesn't mean that I'm going to go right now because of that and go into a cult or something like that and go.
Right.
Like, but I'm not going to just walk around like I don't know nothing. Like, like what you said, like, just be gullible about everything.
Yeah, nah.
But,
I think, and being streetwise is like, people take that as a bad thing, but it's like, or people, a lot of like, church going will say like, oh, worldly things. But we live in the world, dog. That's where we live.
Yeah.
So you need to know how to walk in the world to be able to be safe.
Know what's going on so that you could reach that.
Right.
The Apostle Paul, he said, to the Jews, I became a Jew. To the Gentiles, I became a Gentile. But I did it all to bring them all back to God. That's crazy. So everything goes back to God. Everything is all about going back to that idea. How can what I'm doing today bring me back to bringing his name glory, right? Everything is everything. Everything has to go back to him. All my goals, all my dreams, all my aspirations, wherever I'm going, my wife, my child, if I have one, it's because it all goes back to that idea.
Right.
If it's not in his approval, then I'm not doing it.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, man.
That's dope. What brought us there?
So you were saying like how we were talking about everybody's human. These people that you see on social media. Like you could, I don't take this.
And that's why I know idolizing too.
Yeah. Right. Maybe I might not take their, how they take care of their kids, but I'll take like their business understanding.
Their business acumen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, and I think respecting people, like, a lot of times people disagree with someone. I mean, and there's certain people and certain things that if I disagree with you on that, I probably wouldn't want you around me.
Yeah.
But there's other things, like a big one is politics and business, for example. People are like, oh, well, if you agree with you agree with this person. I don't agree with their politics, but if I agree with their business, then I agree with their business. Like, those are two separate things. Like, just like religion also. Like, I like a lot of people that aren't the same religion as me. Who cares? Like, there's a lot of things that I like about them as a person.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter to me what their religion is, right? So, like, I think we have to be able to compartmentalize and say we got to respect people for what they're good at, and we don't need to engage with them in things that we disagree with.
Yeah.
Unless they're open-minded and we can have dialogue, because that's also how I think you grow.
Where growth happens.
Right. But not always. I feel like a lot of times you're just beating a dead horse, and why do that? Don't waste your time.
And also you learn so much. Again, going back to the Apostle Paul, right? He says something, he did something really cool. He went into a place, I don't know if you know, I think it's the Athens is the group of people, but they worship many gods.
Okay.
And he went inside and there was like one that says the unknown God. And he was so savvy with it that he went in there and he says, I know a God that you guys don't know. And he brought up Jesus. His way of looking at life, he wasn't closed-minded. He would go into situations to grow. Like, he had his mission. Yeah, he had a mission. And his mission was to spread the word of God. And he didn't care how he had to do it. He was going to accomplish his mission. Right. And I think that's so... You learn so much from him and the Bible. That's why I love the Bible, by the way. But that's something that we should carry. Like, wherever we go, let's not be closed-minded. Let's turn that into a learning lesson. Because that's what he would do. Right. Like, only somebody who's a genius would turn even a place like that into a ministry. He literally he could have said, nah, I ain't going to go to those people. Like, they all believe in other gods. What did he do? Right. Let me introduce you to a God that you don't know. That's so powerful, man. Like, so, like, that's why he was one of the most, I think, the most successful apostle out of all of them. And he was successful in spreading the word. Okay. He had all the books. He was the one, like, at the end, he had all the books. All the books were made by him through the Holy Spirit, but he was like the main guy. And he was tortured the most too when he died. So it's also good to show. Aside from Jesus. Yeah. After Jesus. He was the one that was the most tortured. Like, he had the most success, but he also had the most suffering. They hung him backwards, right? No, I believe they sliced his head. Oh. Yeah, man. It's crazy, the Bible. But it's good to learn from, man. And you see, like, even back then, how growth happened. So I love it, man. So today you guys got business acumen, biblical study. We gave you a lot on this chat. I think we're going to wrap it up. I think we've been going for a little while. I think it's an hour, yeah. But Junior, Fabio, always a pleasure. Same here. Always great. Can't wait till next time, man. Follow my man
At Fabio Suarez?
Yep, Fabio Suarez Jr., yep.
And he's doing, what is it called?
Biblical lessons from the Bible. I'm sorry, business lessons from the Bible.
Business lessons from the Bible.
Yep.
As you guys know, I'm Vladimir Ledesma. This is Fabio Suarez, and we are out.
Peace out.
This is extraordinary. Can't ignore it. This my story. I've been more than ready.